Hi, my name is Paul Marsh. I'm here today to give you another bot framework tip. So today I'm cautiously calling this a performance tip, although I think it may be more my paranoia. I'll show you what I mean. So here we come back to our Maybot that is part of the tutorial for learning to write bots. It's basically a very simple bot that pretends to be the Prime Minister, Mrs. May, as a lot of people call her a bot and herself, so perhaps indeed this is how she's implemented. So what we'll do is this is running now, so we're going to the emulator and we'll just type in hi, and it's going to just come back and say, sorry, please only enter a number. So I've completely ripped apart Mrs. May and we're back here just to show you a quick example of what I mean by this performance issue. So what I've done, the additional things I've done here is I've added a little constructor message here. So it says Maybot constructor. And in the nice questions and angry questions dialogs, I'll come in here. It's also got the little diagnostic here to say that they've been constructed. So if we come back to our emulator and I switch this over to debug, come down here, let's do a little hi. We can see that we've got our Maybot constructor, we've got our nice questions dialog constructor and our angry questions dialog constructor. So as you can see, every message that we get on the bot, so just say hello, even though I'm not invoking the nice questions or the angry questions dialog, we can see that they are both being constructed for every message that's coming in. So maybe that's not a big deal, right? It's not a huge deal. And all the samples and examples you'll see, they all use this model of adding the dialogues right at the start. So what's the big issue? Well, okay, let's have a look. So we go back to our main bot. So I've created something called a child dialogue, and all that is going to do is it's going to come in, be constructed. It's got some very simple steps in here. It's just going to ask you a question, which will then echo out in the second step. So it requires a little bit of interaction with this dialogue. The other thing it does as well is it will write out the fact that it's been constructed, and if the dialogue ID is 3, then it will create 10 sub-dialogues inside of it. So there's a couple of little things going on there. Go back to our main bot and let's add 10 of these directly in. So I'll just come in here, let's stop this. Otherwise I won't be able to add anything. So we'll take this out. So now when we run, you'll see that the potential for an overhead of this model, this pattern, might be something to be concerned about. So I'll just wait for the little site to spin up. Looks like it's pretty much there. Just type in hi again. Go back to our output there. Oops, helps if you actually press return. So what we'll see here is we got our Maybot, our nice questions and our angry questions, but now we've got 0 to 3 child dialogues, and then when 3 is hit, it's going to create all of its sub-dialogues, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in one message, we've created all of these constructors have been fired. So just to show you that again, so just type hi again. Again, hi doesn't involve any of these other dialogues, and yet they're all being constructed just in case that message is to do with them. So you can see that that's potentially quite a heavy overhead. And just to show that this is indeed working, let's come in here and type in a number. So I'll just type in 1. And actually, bang, that dialogue is blown up in my face. Yes, I've skipped ahead a little bit here. Excuse me a moment while I show you the solution. So let's just run this again. Cover me in embarrassment. Right, let's try that again. into 1. So hi from child dialog 1. I'll echo what you type. Something. Echo from child dialog 1. Something. Okay, so that basically that's all working. We can try it with dialog 2. I'll echo what you type. 2. Okay, so we can see that that is all our dialogues are working nicely now. So how can we solve this? So one way to do it is to use what I've been termed just-in-time dialogue creation. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take away these dialogues. So they're not going to get created in the constructor. And then what we're going to do is come down here and add this bit back. So what we're saying here is when we get an ID, a number of dialogue that the user wants us to create, we're going to add it to the dialogues only at this point in time. Right, so let's just run that and we'll see. So here we are back in our dialogue. I'm going to say hi again in here. So we can see our nice questions, angry questions constructor, but none of the other child dialogues have been created. So that's good news, right? You think? So now when we hit 1, it's going to come in here. We're going to add it using our just-in-time creation, and it's worked great. Well, not quite. So if I type in something for it to echo now, it's going to go, well, I've got to here, and the framework needs to rehydrate the dialog that was active, and unfortunately, because it's not in the constructor, it's not there, and so we get this error. So how do we avoid this? How do we add just-in-time in here? Well, what we can do is we can say if the dialog context.active dialog has something in it, then we can do, I can type new keywords, giving me trouble. Active dialog, what are we going to do? Dialogs. Oh, no, sorry, that's completely wrong. We're going to do this dialogs dot find the dialog context active dialog .id. So that's going to look into our dialog set and try and find the active dialog. Let's call it that. And if we haven't added it, then we're going to create it just in time. So if the active dialog is null, it's not in there, then we are going to add it. So just come back down here, just use the same code as we had here. So we're just going to add it. And the reason we can do it here as well as here is because we only go into this when there isn't an active dialog running. So you're either in this phase or you're in this phase. You're not going to be in both phases. So we need to add the dialog. What dialog is it? Well, I'm just going to assume that this is a valid dialog ID. We haven't done something weird with state transitions or changes to our state that's going to upset this. So just going straight into there. Assume it's a child dialog. I mean, in reality, you'd have a mapping of IDs to dialogs. But just for this example, keep it clear, keep it nice and simple. So we're just going to add a new child dialog. So when we run now, bring our emulator back, just do a little quick hi message just to make sure everything's running. Yeah, so now we enter 1. So we get our dialog. So just in time, this part of the just in time has added it. And now we're going to echo. So I'll type in something in here. And now the next bit of our just in time has triggered. Realized we didn't have a dialog, so just in time added a dialog in order for the continue dialog to run. So there we have it. We've got we only create the dialog we want when we get a message, and if that message we don't get, that's only dialog 1, we don't get all the rest of the dialogues, we don't get those sub dialogues that was in 3. And again, if we just type in hi again after that's finished, then we only get the constructors that we definitely said we're going to need. So there we go. There's a way to optimize your bot, especially if you have lots of dialogues. You might want to consider this a way to solve that problem of having too many constructors firing. I would just say that having all those constructors fire isn't necessarily a big overhead. Your performance improvement will differ depending on your particular situation, but you might want to try that. Okay, thanks for listening.